We talk about matters that are important to us as a people, to talk about matters that is of very urgent to us as a people, and most importantly, to inform our people about the need for them to wake up and begin to demand for good governance, which they've been denied for too long. My people, today I want to talk about Nigeria again. Matters are rising in Nigeria. It's always been arising. But today I'm actually going to talk about how I woke up this morning and I saw in the news that a lady had to drop down in Nigeria because of hunger. When I saw that message, I had to hold back my breath because I can't believe that happening in Nigeria, that we all came out from, a country that has been so blessed by God, the sixth oil producing country in the world, a country of over 200 million people, a country that is full of intellects, a country that is so vibrant with vibrant people. And so it baffles a lot of us to see things, that ordinarily shouldn't be happening in a country like Nigeria happening. My people, I have said here many times and I will continue to say it because I've said that I've carried out my research and I realized that our problem is not God, it's our leaders. You will agree with me that leadership is everything, everywhere in the world. Even within our religious circle, for example, as a Muslim or as a Christian, we believe that Jesus Christ is our leader. Through Jesus Christ, we will all go to God. In the same vein as Muslims, we believe that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is also our leader, and through him we will all go to God. So leadership is very key. It is the way these, great people, have shown us to go, that you see the Muslims going and the Christians going. That's leadership. If they had also come to say go the other way, people will also go the other way because that's leadership. The point I'm trying to make here, my dear people, is that leadership is everything. In Nigeria and most part of Africa, we have not been fortunate enough to have leaders. And people should sit back or rather go and check their dictionary just to know what the meaning of leadership is about. Because I've come to realize that in Nigeria, for example, those who call themselves leaders don't even know the meaning of the word leadership or leaders. They don't even know what it means to be a leader. I believe that to them, what they understand to be a leader is somebody who just out there, everybody comes in the morning and say, I bow down to you. You have the right to everybody's common words. You have the right to do whatever you want to do and then get away with it. That's what they understand to be leaders. I've understood that leadership is way more than that. Leadership is what you see in most Western countries in the world. Because you see leaders who are committed to their people. You see leaders who want to, live an exemplary life. Just so when they leave the scene, their people will remember them for all the impact, positive ones, that they've been able to impact on the people and the society at large. That is leadership. Or in the case of Nigeria, the reverse is just the case. You have people coming into power, not even, they were not even voted into power. They just manipulate themselves to get to power. My people, a country as blessed as Nigeria have no business, I've said it many times, being called one of the poorest countries in the world. Ordinarily, Nigeria is supposed to be, and it should be about the richest country in the world. If all the potentials, all the natural resources given by God to that country is harnessed and judiciously spent and not stolen away by our leaders. Nigeria, if you ask me, is supposed to have been richer than a country like the US. Because some of the things that we have, the Americans don't have them. What they have is leadership that is working for them. And most countries in the world, especially in the Western countries, most of them are not anywhere close to Nigeria when it comes to natural resources. But what they have that we don't have as a people are committed leaders, are leaders who knows their bearings, leaders who knows what it means to be in a leadership position. These things are very, very key. Because when you don't have people who have these qualities, what you see and what you get is what we are currently seeing and what we are getting back in Nigeria and most countries in Africa, where people wake up every day of their life, there's no hope, no food to eat. The Europeans, I've said this here many times, they've actually banished the word called poverty in their land many decades ago. You don't see anybody abroad waking up to say he or she doesn't have food to eat. And so they don't have, they've gone past that, you know. But in a place like Africa, Nigeria, most country that's supposed to be about the richest country in the world, people still wake up in this 21st century world asking and looking for what to eat. That is unacceptable. In the midst of all that, those who call themselves leaders, they are not going through similar situations with their families. They have more than enough to throw away. And this more than enough that they have to throw away is actually coming from the people. It is what belongs to the people. And so this is why we are out here trying to, get the people to understand that, listen, you are not a poor man or woman. The reason why you are poor and you're not able to meet up with your basic needs of life are these men and women around you call your leaders, and not God. And by the time you begin to understand that, then you begin to channel that your energy towards ensuring that these men and women give back to you what belongs to you. My people, I have, done my research very, very well. And I realized that it's about time the Nigerian people call their leaders to order. The current government in Nigeria is not helping matters at all. In fact, I don't understand what exactly they are doing. I think they need to tell us what is it that they are doing. I think they need to tell us what direction they're actually going, because I'm actually, confused when it comes to what direction is the government currently in Nigeria going. Because to me, it seems that there isn't any current, direction. Because the things get worse by the day. People just wake up every day, not know what next to do. The government is just there, not coming up with policies that will alleviate the sufferings of the people. Or you see them engaged in matters that are irrelevant, like someone waking up to say he or she wants to regulate social media. It just shows the disconnect that these men and women don't even know what they're doing. They really don't know what the people are going through. That's why they are thinking about matters that are, in my opinion, that are immaterial. If you know that your people are suffering, the word suffering is they are starving. People are really, really starving in Nigeria. People are, crying for just no reason. A country that is so blessed, an oil-producing country. I have asked this question many times. If there's anybody who knows any oil-producing country in the world, I repeat, just one oil-producing country in the world, where our citizens really are suffering the way Nigerians are suffering, please let me know. I am not going to go into other natural resources or potentials of Nigeria as a country. I'm just talking about oil alone. If there's any country in the world that you know, like the Qatarians, the Saudi Arabians, up to Libya in Africa, tell me one country that you know that is oil producing, that our citizens are going through what we Nigerians are going through. What that basically tells you is that we have leaders who are clueless, we have leaders who are wicked, We have leaders who have no business being in leadership positions. We have leaders who only think about themselves and their families. We have leaders who are criminals. And they call themselves Democrats. My people, as Nigerians, we must wake up. We must wake up because it is clear that if we don't wake up to take back our country, we'll continue to, lament and lament and lament. And as we are lamenting, quite a good number of us are actually going down the drain. We can see that these men and women that is currently in the affairs of Nigeria are not ready to fix the country. And those who want to fix the country, they have refused them the privilege to come in and fix the country. The 2023 February presidential elections that we had, Nigerians in their numbers came out to speak in very clear terms who they want to be their president. And the people came out and voted Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. But the people who are there now felt that Obi was not part of the clique. And for that reason, got the whole system manipulated. And got the man who is currently there now to be there. Even though they know that he hasn't got what it takes to be in that office. The result is what we are suffering today. I, for one, I supported Obi, not because I love the Labour Party, not because I hate to be Atiku or Tinubu. No. I sat down, I did a analysis about these men, and I came to the conclusion that Obi was way better than them. Regardless of whether Obi was Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, that's irrelevant. That's the reason I went for Obi. And as we speak, if I have my ways, I will still go for the same Obi because it appears to be about the same person, the only person that has what it takes to salvage that country. From the very onset, I knew that Tinubu has nothing to offer, with all due respect to him. Because we've seen quite a few things in this world to know, to be able to read when you see somebody, if that person is capable of at least offering something. Nobody is perfect anyway. But from the onset, I knew that among all the gladiators, Obi clearly came out to me as somebody who will come and do his best. Just maybe his best would have been good enough to at least get the people out of poverty. And people, Nigerians are seeing what we call first-hand poverty in the midst of plenty. I have said here many times that if ordinarily we don't have what it takes to be a rich country, then it's okay. We can be in this this kind of mess. But that's not the case. Nigeria is a rich country by any standard. But you must ask yourself why, in all this richness, the people are poor, while a few have turned trillionaires and billionaires. And these men and women that have turned trillionaires and billionaires have no trace of where their wealth came from. The only thing that we know is that when they all come into politics, they became billionaires. So do you need a pastor, an imam, a soothsayer to come and tell you that the man and woman has just stolen what belongs to you? Let me take myself for example. Some of the few people who knows me know my capacity to a large extent. If by tomorrow, overnight, I'm giving one political office to the other, and 2-3 years down the road, I'm not a billionaire. Do you need anybody to tell you that I've stolen the people's money? It's common sense, my people. These men and women we are all seeing, go and do background check on them, who they were before they all came into politics. 90% of them, if not more, were actually living from hand to mouth. But today, they are all billionaires. I recall very well when Obasanjo was coming in 1999. We were told by Ojuzu Okalu that he actually bought Obasanjo's presidential fund for him. The man was that broke. But today, Obasanjo is about the richest man in the world. Go on and ask him where he got his money from. Many more like him are in Nigeria. the people are looking at them, and the people are crying that they're suffering. I just don't get it. I have said many times here too, the religious leaders are not helping matters too. Instead of them to tell the people the truth about who their problems and what their problems are, they will begin to give them a false hope, telling them that God will do X, Y, Z for them, when they know that God has actually done the X, Y, Z already. Because it's not the same God that they are serving, that you as a church leader or Islamic leader is serving. Are they serving a different God from you? What makes you a different person from them? That they will be suffering, you will be living a better life, saying that God has actually given you a better life, and the rest people are not being given a better life, and we all say claim to be serving the same God. Does it add up? The answer is no. It just doesn't add up, my people. What that clearly means is that some persons are actually playing at the gallery of some other persons. Some persons are taking some persons for granted. Some persons are changing some persons, and some persons are being, acting as criminals in this case. This has got to stop. I am happy now with the way things are going in Nigeria today. If the government don't sit tight and do what is necessary for them to turn the table around, they just might not be happy with what is going to be the outcome of what is about to blow up in Nigeria. The people are sick and tired. Like I've said many times, you can't beat a child and deny that child the ability to cry. In the same vein, you cannot deny somebody perpetually the person's right to a better life when you are living a better life with your family at the expense of the same person. It just won't happen. At some point, the person will have to wake up and say, you know what, enough is enough. With that, I want to thank you so very much for listening to me. I want to quickly talk about the Edo State elections again. The elections are coming up, like we said before. Today, Saturday, the 17th of February, the APC as a party is holding its elections to elect a candidate that will represent them in the elections come sometime so this year. And after the APC, the PDP, the Labour Party, all the parties will be having similar elections to be able to come up with a candidate. Now, my message has always been to the Edo people. I am not here to support Party A, Party B. I am here to tell the Edo people that even if it is Party Z, you find the person worthy enough to be in Osalebe Avenue, you find the person, that he or she has the qualities to look after your affairs and the affairs of your families, regardless of the person's status, please vote for that individual. This is not the time to toy with our future again. We've toyed with the future for so long. That's why people are suffering in the midst of plenty. It just doesn't add up that in a country that is so rich, people are going to bed hungry. It just doesn't happen. What it means is that you have had leaders who lacks what it takes to manage the resources for the people. Instead, what they're doing is managing it for themselves and their families. The Edo people must open their eyes and use their head to find out who amongst these candidates is the best person for the job. As we speak now, they are all coming with the same story, or they've come with the same story before now. I've said it here many times. They come and give you all sorts of promises, and at the end of the day, not a single one will be fulfilled. The next one will come, give the same promises, not a single one will also be, fulfilled. We've had that repeatedly, and it's about time when they come now that it's about the same story they are coming to give you again. And so please do the needful. Ensure you don't mortgage your future again, because if you do that, you're not just mortgaging your future, you're mortgaging your families and your extended families, and eventually the entire society's future. Because these men and women, they know how to get at us, and that's the reason they always come at this time of the year, when it's the electionary period, to come and give us peanuts, and then win our hearts again, and then go back and continue what we call business as usual. Edo people, use your head, open your eyes. Let us elect somebody in Osadebe Avenue, Now we'll go and do the biddings of the people rather than his and his family's biddings. With this, I want to say thank you also very much again for listening to me. If I do make sense to you, please do share my message, like it. Let's know what your thoughts are by commenting on the message. And most importantly, let us use social media to effect change in Nigeria and Africa. Thank you, God bless you, and cheers for now.